Hello friends of Sudoku and welcome to a hard Sudoku, and I'm now on sudokuexchange website. So this is not a manually entered grid, this is just one of the default grids coming up on the website. There are an awful lot of givens here, so let's see how this is going to turn out. As I said, it is a hard puzzle. Not my classification, it is what sudokuexchange.com tells me. A couple of 4s blocking up here and a 4 blocking over here, making this a 4. And these two 4s here block over here like so, therefore this must be a 4 here. And I think that's it. Well, yes, that's it for the 4s. 4 must go here or here because of these two 4s blocking. But that will be for later. A couple 3s blocking over like this, and this 3 blocking up like this, making this a 3. And I believe that we have come to the first point in this puzzle where we have to actually think. One of these must be a 1, and one of these here must be a 1, all because of these two 1s. And by the way, those are the only two 1s so far in the grid. But I like these shapes here because now this 1 blocks down here. I know that a 1 will have to go in one of these two squares. And with the 1 pointing down here and these being blocked, I know that one of these two squares must be a 1. Just something to keep in mind for later. The 2 blocks up here, so one of these must be a 2 blocking over here, and this 2 blocks up here, so and this 2 blocks up here, so this is a 2. And because we still have this 2 blocking over here, and we have got this 2 now blocking, all of these squares are blocked by 2s. And the 2 here blocks this square in addition to those. So this is a 2 in the top row. And that gives us a 2 for column 2. A couple of 5s gives me a 5 for one of these two squares. We only need 3 more digits for column 2, and they have to be a 9, 5, and a 7. Can we do something with that? No, I don't think we can. Amazingly, none of those are easy to find at this stage. So what about these 3? Well, there have to be a 1, 8, and a 9. Again, this is an 8 or a 9. And these can be anything. 1, 2, and a 5 for these squares. We know that these are 2. So this is it's a 5. I was just saying a 1, 2, and a 5 for these 3 squares. And we got a 1 and a 2 very, very obviously pointing to this square, which of course must be a 5. Oh well, what can you do? Now these have to be a 1 and a 2. We just need these two squares to be filled, and they have to be filled by a 6 and a 7. There is a 6 in this column, making this a 7, and this a 6. And we got this 6 blocking over and this 6 blocking up, making this a 6. And one of these now must be a 6. And I believe that they also have to be 5s. Yes, we got the 5 here and the 5 and the 6 and the 6. So these two must be a 5 and a 6, making these two a 1 and a 7. So one of these being a 1 and having this one pointing down here, and these are now blocked by a ghost one here. We know that this square must be a 1. And why do we know that? Because this one blocks here and one of these must be a 1. Therefore, this square is blocked as well. So this is a 1. Now, one of these two must be a 1 and one of these two must be a 1. And it's very clear now that to get a 1 in column 8, it needs to go here. So one's blocking up here and down here and over here, making this a 1. An 8 and a 9 needed here. Hang on, we got an 8 here and an 8 here. So one of these is an 8. Is that not true? Yes, it is. Therefore, this can't be an 8, and therefore it must be a 9, and this is an 8. So one of these is an 8 now. And the other must be a 1. So an 8 and a 1 here, giving me a 9, 5, and a 7 for these three squares. 9, 5, and a 7. Amazingly, I can't position any digits here yet. So what about these three squares? They have to be an 8, 7, and a 3. There's a 3 here, that's all we can say. So a 3 could go here and here. So I'm not going to place any 3s at this time. These two, of course, now have to be a 7 and a 6. And we do have a 6 in the row, making this a 7 and this a 6. Will that help any? Yes, the 6 here and the 6 here block like so, and the 6 up here blocks like so, making this a 6. So in these two squares now have to be a 7 and a 5. Let's see, a 7 comes over here and a 7 comes down here. So one of these is a 5 and, oh, hang on, we got a 5 here and here. What am I talking about? All of these are blocked by 5s. So this is a 5 and therefore this, of course, must be a 7. That wasn't so hard, was it? These two now have to be a 4 and a 9. And we got a 9 blocking this square, which must be a 4, and therefore this is a 9. And making this a 9 as well. And we know that a 9 had to go in one, yes, nothing we can do yet. But I feel that we are closing in on a solution here. These two have to be a 7 and an 8. We have a 7 in the row. So this is an 8, and this is a 7. Now one of these will have to be a 7, and therefore this square must be a 7. Can we now do something here? These being a 1 and an 8, remember? Making these a 3 and a 9. We got a 9 blocking up here, therefore this is a 9, and this must be a 5. 5 blocking down here, 5 blocking over here, making this a 5. And one of these now must be a 5. what else do we have? I want to look at the bottom row for which we need a 2, 4, and a 5. For this can't be a 4, this can't be a 4 because of this 4, so this is a 4. Now we are looking for a 2 and a 5. We got a 2 over here, so this is a 5, and that makes this a 2. 2 here and here, what's a 2 in this square? This must be a 1. Now one of these must be a 1. And we know that it can't be this because we still have our 1 pointing down, making one of these a 1, and therefore this is a 1. This square I almost forgot about, that's got to be a 9, making this a 9 because we got a 9 blocking down here. So this is a 9. And these two now have to be a 1 and a 7. Therefore, this must be a 3. This last digit has got to be a 5, making this a 5. Now we are looking here for a 7 and a 3. We got a 7 in the row, so this is a 3 and this is a 7. Still making one of these a 7, and these two digits have got to be an 8 and a 6. There's a 6 in the row, so this is an 8, this is a 6. The 8 blocks over here making this an 8, therefore this is an 8. And therefore this must be a 1, making this a 1, and this, if memory serves, was a 7, making this a 7, and this therefore must be a 3. 2 digits missing, that should be doable. This must be a 4, and this must be a 3. That was a hard puzzle by sudokuexchange.com. Honestly, it didn't feel hard, so I'll let you be the judge. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.